Hello everyone, welcome to Brighter Than Yesterday. Before we begin, for those of you who are watching my channel for the first time, this is where I will share my perspectives and lessons from the books I've read, the stories I've witnessed and experienced myself. Now let's start today's video. The topic today I will talk about is listening. Any comforting way is gentle and warm, but the best way to comfort is to listen. You have to listen, not just let the sound go in and out of your ears. A person who pours their heart out and only receives a few grunts in return cannot feel any relief. Most people don't listen to understand, they listen to respond. According to Dale Carnegie, the famous author of How to Win Friends and Influence People, I learned this. There are always 4 types of people when it comes to listening. One is the pretender. When listening in this way, they try to create the impression that they are listening, but in reality they are daydreaming or thinking about something else. It's like a guy who stares at a game, constantly typing on the keyboard, but still responds with yes, no, I'm sorry, thank you, every time his girlfriend complains about household chores. He's just simply aware that he needs to respond, so he responds, or else there will be problems. This is a form of failed listening. The second type is the responder, a type of listening with the purpose of explaining or defending their own opinion. This can be said to be the most common type of listening. Once, my friend shared that he has a plan for a startup, he has thought about it very carefully. I responded, but you know, sometimes instead of doing that, people should focus on financial stability first. I think you should reconsider your plan. And my friend replied that he just wanted to share about it. He didn't need my judgment, and moreover, my response had no useful information. The third is listening to learn, for example. When you listen to a podcast, hear someone giving a lecture, or listen to advice from older siblings. This type of listening requires high selectivity. You listen but don't completely put yourself in the speaker's situation. You listen to collect and accumulate information. The last type of listening, also the highest form, is empathetic listening, which I will call active listening. This is considered the top essential skill for healing emotional wounds and stagnation in everyone. Empathetic listening discovers the beautiful emotions in each story and utilizes the speaker's strengths to awaken the positive part of the speaker. The key to empathetic listening is to focus on the emotions in the story. In this form, you will realize that listening doesn't necessarily have to be a response or a request for agreement. An empathetic listener is someone who can understand more than the words on the surface. For me, empathetic listening is how the other person shows their attention and uses positive non-verbal gestures. While I am talking excitedly about everything under the sun, the other person rests their chin on their hand and listens, occasionally nodding in agreement, imitating my expressions when talking about events. The other person doesn't ask many questions, but asks to open up the story further. Were you angry at that time? Then what did you do? Do you think it's like this, right? Or even, I didn't quite understand, can you say it again? And of course, because of these positive actions, my story continues without end. Empathetic listening is also when the other person doesn't try to fill the silence between the two. We tend to try to maintain the conversation and limit awkward silences, but both you and the other person need time to gather thoughts or find the right words to describe your feelings. And those are the 4 common types of listening. For myself, currently, I am not a good listener, and I can't always empathize. And I realize that it's about combining empathetic listening and responsive listening because fundamentally, besides the need to listen, I also have the need to speak, to be advised, especially with those who are extremely close to me. Then there is a saying that I read, don't give advice if others don't ask, because sometimes they just want to tell. So in conversations, I will listen to their entire story to feel their emotions, and then when I want to respond with my own opinion, I will see if my opinion really helps them or not before responding. Those are all the things I want to share in this video. I hope that through this video, I can help you gain some new perspectives on listening. Please comment on your opinions or some listening tips. If you enjoy this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you for watching this video. Goodbye and see you in the next one.